What is up, you guys? Out of This World Entertainment Podcast. That's right, we are back. I know we've been gone for a little while. I do apologize for that, but we do have lives, and some of us were trying to save for our own studio and our own equipment. So, yay us! We actually did it. We made our goal happen. So now we can do a podcast whenever we like, besides going to the comic book store that we usually use to rent their studio. If you do want to rent their studio, it's here in Whittier, California. It's kind of like a couple miles off of Los Angeles. It's called Undercity Comics, and you can be able to look that up once you're here in Los Angeles. So, yay us! Woohoo! I am your host, Tyler Alanis, and usually I would have other co-hosts with me, but today is just going to be a solo, and this is going to be one quick episode, so I hope you guys enjoy. So before I actually get started with my topic, I hope you guys have been reading your comics. For instance, if you guys have been reading a bold new era of Transformers, issue 7 just recently came out, and issue 8 should be coming out within the next couple weeks. And also, the War of the Realms, Marvel Comics, issue 6, the last of the 6-issue series, is out for a while now. You guys should be able to pick it up. This actually is a really good story towards the end. Read it. And also Thanos, I got issue 3 in my hand, and issue 4 should be coming out pretty soon. So I hope you guys are reading this. It is an origin story for Thanos, but it takes a different direction than the Marvel movies have you ever seen. So yeah, pick up your comics and hope you enjoy. Now, today's topic is going to be the relation of books and movies. If you saw movies that are based off of novels, I really suggest this. Read the books first. Because people have been asking me, what's better, the book or the movie? Or both? My answer to you all is this. Your own judgment. This is really your own judgment to be doing. Because literally, I've been getting this question so many times that you have to make that own judgment yourself. Like for me, for instance, I love both, depending of what it is. For example, for me, Ready Player One is actually a great example, because they're both, the book and the movie are really good. Same story, same plot, but the direction that they both go in is off-putting, because the book, it tells something different than the movie, and the movie tells something different than the book. The Hunger Games is the next example. Now, I'm going to be going on detail, but I just want to get this over with. The Hunger Games, the books are good. The first movie was good. The other 2 movies was kind of a bit, like, I did not feel anything from that. The Lord of the Rings, the book and the movie, they're both really good, and they're both really amazing. The Hobbit book, it is good to read. The movies, only the first movie was good. Now let me go into details of why. So Ready Player One. So I read the book, and I enjoyed it because it actually takes a step-by-step of this character, which is Parzival, and it does tell like a little bit more about his life than what the movie has been explaining. And you got to just actually see a detail of him like going to school, being a kid, but it takes place in the Oasis, and actually seeing other kids or other players going to school as well. It feels like it's real there. In the movie, they don't really show that. They just go straight to like the hunt, which is really good. Now the real difference between all that is the story as it leads to, because literally the way they have to find the items is you find just the gate first, and then get the key from that, and then you go find another gate, and then you get the riddle. Same thing happens. Go find the gate, get the key, go find the other gate, and then fucking get the riddle. It's really off-putting. And then the movie, it's just taken into a shorter terms. Now, the movie did cut some things out, but I think it just made it a little bit better. And Ernest Cline, he did a really good job. He did the movie, and then he actually wrote the book and then did the movie. He is a screenwriter. He did Fanboys, and this is what inspired him to create Ready Player One. He actually really did a good job. I suggest reading the book first and then seeing the movie, and then you can make your judgment from there. The next one is The Lord of the Rings. Now, The Lord of the Rings is really good. I both enjoyed the book and the movie. The book is actually a bit better than the movie because Lord of the Rings gives a bit on detail, and it's more fantasized and more of the ancient realms. Or not ancient realms. Maybe ancient realms. I'm sure. It's more of like the Middle Earth. Now, the reason I love the book more because it gets so into detail about the character and some of the kind of like the fight scenes and the major drama that was actually in it. And then the movie, it took another step where you kind of see like a little bit of the into relationship of Frodo and Sam, which is a bit of a little hard to see nowadays. But you know what? That's just kind of my disappointment right there. That was just it. Everything else was just really good. I hope you guys do read the book and see the movie. Now, The Hobbit, however, I love the book, but the movies were a little bit difficult for me right here. Now, why am I saying this? Because the book is actually like Lord of the Rings. It gives really good detail of each and little thing that happens. Where the movie, only the first movie, The Unexpected Journey, took it from there. They got it from the book. They actually took something from there. Where everything else, like the Desolation of Smaug or the Battle of the Five Armies, like those two movies were literally shit. Like 100%, and I was just laughing. I don't give a fuck what everybody says. Oh, the movie was good. The movie was badass. I don't give a fuck about that. This is my judgment, and my judgment is those two pieces of movie were crap. And The Hobbit was just the only book that was just literally there. Like, literally, one book out of the 3-part movies. Sword of the Lord of the Rings, one book out of the 3-part movies. And if you don't believe me, read the book, and then watch the movies. You'll see my point. They added characters in the movie that wasn't really needed to be there. Trust me, you really want to do this. Also, the Hunger Games series. I love the books, but I liked the first movie. I hated the other two. Same thing with The Hobbit. But the reason for this is the first story actually made sense for both the book and the movie. The first one, the very first one, if you know what I'm talking about. The other two, they were kind of going on the right track, but it was kind of losing me to a certain point in each of those other movies. And I can't really explain why, but it just doesn't really feel connecting enough. That's just all I'm just going to say. Alright, so since I explained to the books and the movies, the novel, I'm going to move on to comics and movies. Now, which is better? Comics or the movies, or both? Are they equal? Is it bad? Is it worse? Let me tell you again. It's your judgment. It depends how you see it. And let me give you a little advice. If you want to see a comic book movie, I really, really suggest you read the comics first. Like, totally read the comics first before seeing a comic book movie. You'll get why. Because I had so many fucking questions that I literally had to go through my files, aka my comic book box. I call them my files, because literally that's where I go find my research. I literally take any comic that I have and do research on that and reread it and where this plot is going from or the source. I don't trust the internet anymore. You know why? Because people can make up random shit on it. Some of it could be true, some of them can be false. I don't know, but I don't give a fuck about the internet and their sources on there. If I wanted to get resources, I could do that for DC. But anyway, yes, if you saw Endgame, this is my example. If you saw Endgame, that one that is not really based off anything, they just nitpicked off of a couple of comics, that is an original story, and the screenwriters actually did really good, and the Russo brothers brought that conclusion back up. I was like really impressed by that. I was like, holy shit, this is an original story? Wow. This is good. This is really good. And the other movies, too, the other Marvel movies, those are actually based off of some of the comics. Let me see. Like for instance, Iron Man. Iron Man was actually based off the comic book. They nitpick off the things, but in general, that movie was actually based on the comic. That's my example. You have to read the comics before you go see the movie. Because if you don't read the comics or the books and go see this fucking movie, there's literally no point of like you judgmenting this movie the entire time and asking 24 fucking questions. And yes, people do that. People have asked me so many questions, even during the movie. I'm trying to enjoy it, and people are like, so what's his power again? Why did he do this? Why is that bad guy doing this? Why is he taking over the world? Like, literally, watch the movie and they'll tell you. Like, literally, they'll give details of the movie, but if you want the main source of it, read the fucking comics. Me and my friends are doing that. That's fucking easy. Don't fucking waste your time believing what's on the internet. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of going apeshit right now, because literally, I get this so many times, and I know my friends, my other co-hosts, have actually encountered this as well. Now, if you want to know what's good and bad, like the Marvel movies are good because they go based off comics, besides Fantastic Four, but come on, fucking work it up. Man, come on. You're disappointing me here. Disney, do better. Hope you do better with Fantastic Four. But if you want to talk about bad relationship between comic books and movies, look at DC. DC Comics, come on, man. You need to fucking get the shit up together besides Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was like literally the best one out of the whole DC universe. Like, come on. Like when Man of Steel came out, I was like, okay, this is kind of a little good starter right here. It's kind of a little funny. And then when Batman vs. Superman came on, I was like, okay, now they're just like fucking it up 100%. Like literally, what the fuck? And then when Wonder Woman came out, I was back into impressment. I was impressed by the movie and by the acting of everybody. I was like, fuck yeah. And then when Justice League, I was going back down. And then Suicide Squad, which was before Justice League, before Batman vs. Superman, my bad. That was already going downhill from there, and then downhill, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, the second Justice League movie was supposed to be out, but nope, they did not release it. Yep, that was supposed to be released this past month, but nothing happened. And they announced it. Why? They fucked up the story. But this is what exactly I'm talking about. If people don't read the comics and watch the movie, or when filmmakers want to do something based off a comic and do the movie, I really suggest reading the comic before you actually do the movie. Don't fucking do research on the internet because it's not real. Literally not fucking real. But you know what? They just do it anyway. And they take cuts from it. They cut things a lot. And that's what's making it fucking awful. And they have to too, because it's on a budget and it's trying to make sense to everybody. But you know what? That's just them. That's literally just them. But yeah, if you have any books or comics or you want to relate to a movie or anything like that, just comment below and then I'll probably reply to you as soon as I can. But till then, this is the end. Yep. All right, I told you this was going to be a quick episode. All right, let's just get this over with. This is Out of This World Entertainment. I am your host, Tyler Alanis, and my other co-hosts are not here, so I'll be announcing them for them. Nothing. But anyway, that's right, kids. Read your comics before you go see the movies. Bye-bye, everybody.